I'm Bonnie Rabikoff. Welcome to In the Kitchen. This week we are at Piropos here in Briarcliff Village, and I'm talking to its restaurateur, the original executive chef, Christina Warden. Christina, thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
Welcome to my restaurant.
And to your culture. So let's talk about how Piropos happened.
Well, happened that my husband always liked the way I cook.
I'll bet.
And we had a beautiful piece of property in Parkville. So why don't we build a restaurant and we rent it to somebody? And my husband built the original restaurant.
In Parkville?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
He built it from ground down up.
Yes.
I mean, ground up. And I did the menu, and he wanted me to do Argentinian menu.
Of course.
And we start falling in love with the restaurant, and we cannot give it to anybody.
I know, because you know what, it belonged to you. It's like your child. You're not
It
gonna
was
give,
her child.
You're not going to give your child away. So it started as an investment piece of property that you created a concept for, and then decided it belonged to you after all.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now that still exists in Parkville?
Yes. It became, before we opened this one, it became banquets and weddings. And then when the economy changed, we decided, well, we need to pay mortgage and lights and insurance.
Yeah.
So we decided to open as a restaurant again. And now it's the Piropos Grill.
Okay, so now today you and I are sitting in a stunning restaurant at Briarcliff Village with a priceless view of downtown Kansas City.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your background with Argentina, the food, and the culture that you are so graciously sharing with us.
Thank you. I was born in Argentina.
I got that part.
Yes, and came from an Italian and Polish family. So everybody in my house was a cook.
Everyone's a cook.
I never was, but I always watched my parents.
I have to tell you, I started out that way too, watching, and that is really huge learning piece.
Yes.
Okay.
And I love. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood that they were Spanish, Italians, Polish, Germans. Argentina is very cosmopolitan. Many, many Europeans, and 48% is Italian. And my mom came from the Italian side, and my dad came from the Polish side.
So you had both of those cultures and the true melting pot of Argentina.
Yes.
And
I moved to this country when I was young. And I never thought that in my middle life I was going to be a restaurateur.
Okay, so you know, a lot of us in our middle life are reinventing ourselves, and I think when we do it at this age instead of 20, we're really very thoughtful about what our passions are and incorporating them into what we do.
Yes.
And this is evident here in the restaurant. So what distinguishes Argentinian food?
Well, this is the taste of Argentina. Okay. Us Argentinians like steaks a lot.
We do, yes.
And we like fish. And we grow up on farms, so we eat a lot of chickens and vegetables. And we never go to a party, or we never have a weekend without an empanada in our hand and a glass of Malbec.
Okay, so those two things are a must, and we would find them
it's
here.
A must.
A must.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's part of how you celebrate life and each other.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in my house. It was weekends that it was 10, 12 different kinds of empanadas. And my mother used to do everything by hand.
Okay, so we have that here. You brought that with you.
Yes.
We're going to go into the kitchen in just a little bit.
Yes.
And tell us what we're going to make.
Okay, we're going to make a dish that is blackened halibut. It's with lobster risotto over a sauce of red peppers, roasted red peppers, and it has julienne vegetables.
That sounds beautiful. I can't wait to go in and do that. What would you say is your inspiration for food and cooking?
My inspiration is Argentina.
It's Argentina.
It's my mother.
It's your mother.
Yes,
Okay.
it's my mother.
Your mother's your inspiration, and
Yes.
you still have brought that with you.
Yes.
You have been an inspiration to your executive chef, who I'm sure brings some of his culture and some of his cuisine too.
Yes.
But the guiding light is,
You use the spices that we bring from Argentina.
could you tell us what a few of those are?
Yes, one is the ají molido, which is a very mild red pepper, and we use it in many, many dishes. Even in the 3 sauces that we put at the table, which is criolla, aioli, and chimichurri is the most famous one in Argentina.
That's the one that I'm most familiar with.
Yes.
Well, and aioli too.
And
Yep.
usually people there eat it with the steaks, the parrilla, which is here the barbecue, but we don't marinate meats. We just put salt and then we use chimichurri or any of the other sauces with them.
But of course, your cuts of meat, your beef are exquisite, and you just take good care of that, and then add these wonderful
Yes.
seasonings, which is Argentina.
Yes,
Okay, Christina, I think we need to go in the kitchen and make that wonderful halibut dish.
that is great.
Why don't you come with us?
Please.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we are in the kitchen at Piropos with their executive chef, Jesus Almos. Jesus, thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
Thank you.
Tell us what we're going to make. What's the signature dish?
Well, we have a few signature dishes for Piropos, but today we're going to do Alaskan halibut, blackened Alaskan halibut with lobster risotto, julienne vegetables, and roasted red bell pepper butter sauce.
Oh, it sounds like heaven. Okay, where do we begin?
Well, we're going to begin pouring some olive oil into the pan, getting the hot.
And I noticed you warmed the pan first.
Yes.
Get the pan a little warm before you put the oil in.
It is important so that way the fish get real blackened color to it. Otherwise, it's not going to be a sticky.
It's not going to know. No,
So-
we wouldn't think of it.
Over here, we have a beautiful Alaskan halibut.
This is stunning. It is the most beautiful halibut I've ever seen, and just to remind our viewers and listeners that it should have no smell to it
No.
whatsoever. No smell, and white and shiny looking.
Exactly, and you know we use really fresh product. We
You
don't use
do.
any processed product. The fresh we get it
Fresh.
fresh.
Okay, what are we putting our halibut
Over
in?
here is a blackened seasoning.
Okay.
So we're gonna just put it in there. Gonna put a little bit of salt, not very much, because on the seasoning there already has some blackened to it.
Okay. Fresh cracked pepper.
Black pepper. And we're gonna give it another minute to the skillet. Make sure it's very, very hot.
And so I'm told, you see the steam coming up, that is key into making the blacken happen.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
Presentation side down.
We're gonna let it cook for a couple minutes, so that way they get really blackened into the thing.
Can you tell us a few of the seasonings in there?
Sure, it is
Yes.
garlic, granulated garlic, paprika, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of Brazilian brown seasoning, which is kind of spicy seasoning from Brazil.
Okay, and we've been true to our South American heritage with this seasoning. Yes, and you said granulated garlic,
Yes.
not powdered, because
No,
the
it's
powder gets
granulated.
a little bitter.
Well, yes, we put a
We're not
butter.
gonna do
We're not
that.
going to do that. Just
No, we're not going to
granulated.
do that. Okay. So what are you looking for on the cooking?
We're going to looking for like a dark color to it, not black.
Yeah.
Just a dark color, which is coming up right there for much.
So we're going off the color.
Exactly. And then I think we're pretty much right there. So we're gonna flip it. We're gonna
That's
finish it in
beautiful.
we're gonna finish it in the oven for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. What temperature?
375.
375. Fish is in the oven. It's
Yes.
time to do the sides. What are we
To
doing?
the side, we're gonna do a lobster risotto. We're gonna start with a little bit of butter, unsalted butter. And then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic, fresh garlic. And over here we got the lobster risotto, a lobster meat. So we're gonna saute that.
Beautiful.
We're gonna cook the lobster meat for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
The risotto is already cooked, basically.
Right, and we need to remember with our fish not to overcook it or it gets tough.
Exactly.
We don't want that. So you're doing all the seasoning for the risotto risotto first.
Right. And over here we're gonna start doing the vegetables until this is done. This is pretty much cooked, so we're gonna add the risotto.
I think the important thing to note is how fast all this happens. Once you've prepared the risotto, it's just prepared according to directions.
We're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream.
Oh, yum. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Continue moving this around it so that way.
You know what they say about risotto, you gotta stay close to it.
Yes, otherwise.
It wants your attention.
Right. We're gonna put some Argentinian riccinito cheese.
You all have stayed true to this culture.
About done. So risotto is pretty much done. Gonna finish a little bit with salt.
What kind of salt are you? Is that a sea salt?
No, that is Argentinian salt.
Oh, Argentinian, because it doesn't look like kosher salt.
So we're gonna leave that alone for a minute, and now we're gonna do our vegetables. Again, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil. Gonna turn this off for a minute. Garlic. That. Over here we have some julienne vegetables where we have zucchini, red onion, red bell peppers, and yellow squash.
Perfect. And the colors are exquisite.
It takes probably about 2 to 3 minutes to get done. So.
And that's the beauty. Of course, I know everything here is made fresh, and that's a timing thing. And a little more cheese in that risotto.
Just to make it the consistency a bit thick and instead of being like runny.
Yes.
You want to be runny. It has to be kind of thick.
And so we have some similar flavor. We have garlic in all of it. Obviously, the salt, pepper. This is amazing. All right, Chef, we've just finished making the signature dish. We eat with our eyes first. How are we going to plate this?
We're going to start putting this rainbow in there. We're going to make a really nice presentation to it. We're going to put the risotto into the mold. And then we're going to kind of mash it down a little bit so that way they're a bit.
You know, there's an art to this. I've tried it, and my first attempt was not particularly successful.
And then we're going to put the veggies on top.
Okay.
And we're going to put the fish in the very last minute.
Beautiful. Oh.
That's good enough. I'm not going to take this off because the fish is now.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay. We got the blackened halibut right here.
And look how that's completely cooked through, but it's so juicy.
We're gonna set it on the top.
So this is the
Roasted red pepper
sauce.
butter sauce.
Okay.
There we go.
Chef, thank you for sharing your talent with us. We are now going to go to the bar and pair this with something to drink.
Exactly. Very good.
you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we have been in the kitchen at Piropos at Briarcliff Village. Executive Chef has prepared a blackened halibut with a roasted red pepper sauce, lobster risotto, and julienne vegetables. What to drink with this signature dish? To answer that question, we're going to talk to the manager here, Matthew Markey. Matthew, what to drink?
Well, we have two offerings today. We thought we'd go with a white and a red wine, because we know that people like to enjoy one or the other sometimes. Traditionally, with a seafood dish, we pair it with a white wine. We've got an excellent offering with the Catena Alta Chardonnay from Mendoza. And it's a full-bodied Chardonnay, excellent blend of oak, green apple, and lemon in there as well. So it's a fantastic white wine.
Good.
Sometimes red wines are a little harder to pair with seafood, but because of the blackened seasoning, red pepper sauce, I think a nice light Pinot Noir. This is Bodega Chakra. Pinot Noir from Patagonia, Argentina. It's a 2009 vintage. It's an excellent red wine.
Okay, Matthew, you know, we have two celebrity tasters coming in. They are the owners of Nell Hills, and now it's up to them to decide how the pairing works. But thank you.
Very good. My pleasure.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we have been in the kitchen at Piropos with their executive chef making a signature dish. To taste the dish and sip the wine that has been paired with it, I have two Kansas City celebrities. They are the proprietors of Nell Hills, Mary Carol Garrity and Dan Garrity. Thank you both for taking time out from your very frenetic schedule to be our tasters.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah,
We're excited.
Exactly. Okay, Chef, what have we prepared for our guests?
We will prepare a blackened Alaskan halibut with lobster risotto, sauteed julienne veggies, and roasted red bell pepper butter sauce.
Chef,
this is
thank you for this work of art. And Matthew, our general manager, what should we be drinking with this dish?
Well, we have two selections we prepared for you today. A white wine, it's a heavier white wine, Chardonnay, Catena Alta from Nicolas Catena. It's a 2007, I believe, from Mendoza, Argentina. And we also have a red wine. It's a lighter red wine to be paired with the white fleshed fish. Blackened seasoning, roasted red peppers. Should pair nicely. It is Bodega Chacra Barda Pinot Noir, also from Argentina, but Patagonia, 2009.
All right, now the task before you is to taste the food and sip the wine, and I think
is
you're
so
up
tough.
to it. Yeah.
It's very tough.
Okay. And tell us what you're tasting and why you might like it. Of course, I'm going to taste it too because I wouldn't want you to do this alone.
For the pleasure of your job.
Yeah, you know it is. I'm fortunate. I'm in the best kitchens of Kansas City. What do you think?
It's delicious.
It's probably
Oh,
the
damn.
best halibut I've ever eaten.
This is to die for. And the sauce.
It's roasted red pepper. The risotto has lobster in it and cheese from Argentina. They have remained true to the culture of Argentina here with their seasonings, in addition to the ingredients and, of course, the style that is Argentina, which I've learned has some Italian in it, and it's sort of melting pot.
This is unbelievable.
This is wonderful.
This is unbelievable, isn't it?
I love halibut, but this is particularly good.
The risotto.
The risotto I've never had with the lobster. And this is
Look how they've mixed all of the flavors and the colors, because you know you do eat with your eyes first.
it's a beautiful presentation. I think you'd have to look long and hard to find anything like this.
Okay, now the second assignment is the wine. And for different palates, we have a red and white, Pinot Noir, and Chardonnay. Please taste and tell me what you think of them and what you think of them with the dish.
Okay.
And to
Another
your-
tough job.
To your health, I know. So we're doing the Pinot first, I see. And of course, both wines are from Argentina.
It's lovely.
That is a lovely peanut.
How is it working with the dish?
I think it works. I'm interested in how the white is.
Okay, well then I think that should be the next sip.
Well, let's.
You have
Okay.
to a little bite.
You do have to have a little bite.
Oh darn!
No, darn, you have to have
This is such a tough job.
Oh my goodness. That risotto is amazing.
This entire meal is wonderful.
Okay. That is. That's the most.
And isn't the
unique-
ambience here
The
just,
ambiance is
you know, the
wonderful. Of
view
course,
and
your-
just.
your neighbors here.
No, we're so lucky. This is.
You both are.
When we were opening up the store, we had many family dinners up here to celebrate, and it was so much fun. And this has such a
Good
special
memories.
meaning for
Good
us.
memories.
Great
And we always.
memories for sure.
So, how does the Chardonnay work with this?
See? I like both of them,
I think I like the Chardonnay even better with
but
it. And
I believe
was,
I like the Chardonnay.
and I'm surprised because I didn't think I would.
A red wine.
I am.
drinker?
I'm not a big Chardonnay drinker, but that is delicious.
That is delicious. So your personal preferences is the Chardonnay.
The Chardonnay with this.
Okay.
For me, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you.
And he did a wonderful job of pairing. We are so grateful in Kansas City to have fabulous chefs, wonderful restaurants, and we're also grateful to have our own local. This is a compliment, Martha Stewart.
Not hardly, but you're being very
In
generous.
Kansas City,
Very
Forbes,
generous.
NBC, CBS, The Wall Street Journal, both of you have made national news with Nell Hills, and it's a remarkable place. It's the resource for the homemaker. And I think that when women went to work, and for some it was back to work, we became so focused on that career and outside the home that having a resource like Nell Hills here to help us with those decisions and build the environment conducive to family and friends, you all have done a beautiful job with
so
Nell
nice.
Hills.
Thank
We
you.
So being kind.
We are grateful to have you here and grateful that you're taking time out to share this meal.
Yeah, this is not tough duty.
We were like, darn, we have to go to Piropos again.
eat the
Tough
food.
duty, yes.
But we have much talent in the city, and we're grateful for it. So thank you again. Please enjoy.
Oh, this has been our pleasure.
Bon appetit
Bon
to life.
appetit. This is
Delicious.